Welcome back to Roadside Economics. I'm Ren. Today we are diving into a truth that most people are too afraid to face. I see influencers like Graham Stephan talking about interest rates and ROI. I watched The Diary of a CEO, where guests discuss the psychology of success. But there is a massive gap between their luxury world and the reality on the street. They tell you that the housing market is simply shifting, but they do not tell you that the game is rigged to destroy your soul. In the year 2026, owning a home has become the ultimate psychological cage. It is no longer about having a place to live. It is about the systematic harvesting of your life energy. The American dream was redesigned in 1971. When the dollar lost its anchor to gold, money became a tool of control, and housing became the primary trap. They want you to believe that a 30-year mortgage is a badge of honor. But if we look at the deep insights from The Diary of a CEO, unnecessary debt is the leading cause of chronic stress and biological aging. The system knows that if they lock you into a 30-year debt, they own your decisions for the next 3 decades of your life. You can no longer take risks. You can no longer quit that toxic job. You can no longer move to where the real opportunity is. You become a predictable unit of production for the banks. Look at the hidden mechanics of the 2026 housing market. Graham Stephan might tell you to look at the amortization schedule, but I am telling you to look at the institutional capture. Hedge funds and mega corporations are buying the land under your feet. They are using cheap credit from the Fed to outbid hardworking families. They do not want you to be an owner. They want you to be a permanent subscriber to your own existence. Think about the hidden costs that the influencers usually ignore. Property taxes in states like California are becoming a second mortgage. Insurance companies are pulling out of entire regions, leaving you with all the risk and none of the protection. Maintenance and labor costs are skyrocketing due to currency devaluation. By the time you pay the interest, the taxes, and the endless repairs, your so-called investment is actually a massive hole in your balance sheet. You are working 14 hours a day just to maintain a pile of bricks. Bricks that the government can tax and the bank can seize at any moment. The real inflection point that we discussed in previous episodes. It never arrives for the homeowner, because the house eats the surplus. The elites understand this perfectly. They do not tie their capital into illiquid liabilities. They move into mobile and scarce assets that the system cannot print. While they encourage the middle class to buy at the peak of a bubble, they want you to be a human battery in the financial matrix, providing steady interest payments while staying obedient in your zip code. In the year 2026, mobility is the only true form of freedom. If you are buried under a mortgage, you are an easy target for the great harvest. The system is preparing to revalue every asset you own, and they want your wealth locked in something you cannot hide. An asset that is pinned to the ground and easy to tax into oblivion. True wealth is not a white picket fence. True wealth is the ability to say no and walk away whenever you want. But the dream is designed so you can never say no. It is time to stop following the old rules from 40 years ago. The math has changed, and the psychology of ownership has been weaponized. You are being told to buy because the institutions need an exit strategy. They need you to hold the bag while they pivot into the next phase of the game. Do not be the sacrifice in this race against devaluation. Now I want to ask you a question that Stephen Bartlett might ask. If you lost your house and your mortgage tomorrow morning, would you feel a sense of loss or a profound sense of relief? Be honest with yourself in the comments below. Is your home a sanctuary, or is it a chain around your neck? Let us expose the housing myth and find the path to real freedom. I'm Ren. Don't just work for money. Make sure your money works for you. I will see you in the next one.